Welcome everybody to Destroying Science, Episode 2. Episode 1 was where I destroyed the dark sky paradox by proving that the infinite space between stars is way more than the infinite number of stars. That's why we have a dark sky. And so dark sky paradox never really existed. And so we're going to prove that Russell's paradox doesn't exist either. Russell's paradox is all about set theory, where Rule 10 is that you can have a set of sets, and Rule 11 is you can have sets that can contain themselves. And then they say, well, X is a set that does not contain itself. And they say, well, there's a paradox, because if you have a set that contains itself, or does not contain itself, but Rule 11 says that sets can contain themselves. So this is basically like the old proverbial a snake eating itself. This really can't happen. Let me explain why this really is just total nonsense. So let's let X be the set that does not contain itself. It has 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we say, oh, let's have X contain itself. What do we get then? Well, then we get X equals 1, 2, 3, and 4, and X. Well, what's X? X is that right there, what you see on the screen. So we have to add X again. And so we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then X. And then, but wait, what's X? Well, X is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then so we add that again. So we get 3 1, 2, 3, 4s. And then an X. Well, what's X? Well, X is 3 1, 2, 3, 4s. Blah, 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 blah. And then it goes to infinity. And then you end up it's just a endless, what do you call in the computer world when you have an infinite loop? Yeah, you're just stuck in an infinite loop and you go crazy. And let's see what happens to these contemporaries who, Russell found this paradox, and he told one of his contemporaries, and let's see what happens to him in his, infinite loop.
Is a set that does not contain itself. And then something happened. He realized a problem, and he wrote this problem in a letter in 1902 on June 16th to Frege. And Frege received the letter. This is what the letter really looked like. Frege got the letter, and it broke him. Physically, he had a breakdown and had to be hospitalized upon reading this 2-page letter. And the letter asked this question: the set of all sets that do not contain themselves. This set, does it contain itself?
Yes, it does. It contains itself. The snake ate itself, and now it's just a stomach. And this is what happened to Frege. He's just inside his own stomach, or inside his own mind, forever. So the reason why I'm making this video is because back in college in the 1980s, they taught us the same set theory, where you had sets containing themselves. And I thought, this is crazy. Why don't they fix this? Well, between 1902 and 1980s, a lot of people did fix it and came up with all these other set theories. Well, I'm not sure what those are because they didn't teach those. But we can fix it right now. It's a very simple solution, very simple. So what do? So all we need to do is get rid of rule number 1, unrestricted composition. That causes some problems because that brings us to rule 11. Sets can contain themselves. We need to get rid of that rule, because obviously if you have X containing itself, then it's going to go into an infinite loop. So what we'll do is we'll just say rule 11 is that, Y will contain set X. That way your brain will end up in your stomach and everything's hunky-dory and we all live happily ever after. All right, thanks. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the Destroy Science button. And I'll see you next time. And until then, the next time somebody says, trust the science, say, Russell's paradox.